Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to come on here and update you guys on what's been going on. I know it's been about 2 weeks that I posted a video, and I told you guys that I was going to post another video, but things happen. So as you know, I was in my last video expecting my baby girl to come, and she is now here. She was born on on April 22nd, and I'm so happy she's finally here. I waited for the moment for a long time. She just did not want to come out, but I wanted to go back and rewind you guys and tell you guys a little bit about my third trimester, just because that was my next video that I was going to post for you guys, and I'm gonna share some concerns and things like that during my last trimester of pregnancy. So if you guys are interested and want to see what's been going on, just keep on watching. Okay, so like always, disclaimer: if you guys hear any noise or if you guys hear my babies, it's just my kids in the background. My son's over there making lots of noise in the living room, but the little one's asleep right now. Let's get started. So during my last trimester of pregnancy, it was really hard for me. I was so tired. Towards the end, there were some concerns in regards to my baby. Nothing bad. She was completely fine. It was just she was a little bit big. So my first son, my son was 9 pounds and 3.8 ounces. When she was born, she was 9 pounds 3 ounces. So no, 3.5 ounces. So they were not that far apart in terms of size. But this time around with my first pregnancy, I was living in Anaheim. So the doctor that I was seeing for this current pregnancy, obviously they weren't the same OBGYNs or anything like that. So the concerns were different, and I guess they were taking more precaution. So towards the third trimester of my pregnancy, I had two ultrasounds done to measure the mass, which was how big she was gonna be. And the concern was that she was obviously measuring bigger than she was supposed to be, and the problem was that her shoulders, like for example her head, was smaller than her body. So that was a concern, because it's called shoulder dystocia, is when the baby's anterior shoulder gets caught above the mother's pubic bone. Yeah, so it's called shoulder dystocia, and that is obviously because her shoulders are wider than her head. So if her head comes out and then her shoulders get stuck, the baby's shoulder can break, or there can be some kind of damage to the baby when she's being delivered. Or if she gets stuck and can't come out, they have to do they have to do an emergency C-section. So I was devastated when my OBGYN told me this, but keep in mind, my midwife that I saw the entire pregnancy, she never mentioned anything of that to me. So I had two midwives, and one of them, I saw her once, and then she's the one that actually told me about the shoulder dystocia. So I seen her twice in my entire pregnancy, and the one that I was seeing regularly, she never mentioned anything to me, and she told me everything was going fine, and she reassured me that I wasn't going to need a C-section, because that was my biggest fear, and everything was going great. So there was one day where I went into labor and delivery because I was having contractions in my back. So I went in, and that second midwife that I had seen once at that point went into the room and told me that they were going to send me home because it wasn't time yet. But then she raised a concern about the shoulder dystocia, and I was in complete shock because my regular midwife hadn't mentioned anything to us. So she came in and said, you know, I'm going to order another ultrasound because we're concerned about your baby, you know, maybe getting caught. So she brought up the idea of a C-section, and I was like, you could tell in my face that I was like in shock that I didn't know what she was talking about, because no one had mentioned anything to me the entire time. So me and my boyfriend were kind of like, what? Like, we thought everything was going great, right? So she was like, I'm gonna see you in my next appointment. She's like, and I just wanted to come in and let you know so you can kind of sit and think and kind of like marinate the idea of a C-section onto me, just because that was a concern. So obviously I went home and I was crying, you know, I was worried because I didn't know about this and it was concerning to me. And then not just for my baby but for myself as well, because I didn't want a C-section and I had my son perfectly fine. She was perfectly fine the entire time. So I right away the next day called my regular midwife, the one that I had been seeing regularly. I called her, I left her a message saying that the other midwife had mentioned that shoulder dystocia to me and that I was concerned and if she could call me back. So she called me back and apologized and said that she apologized because she didn't want me to worry about anything, and she had already discussed me giving vaginal birth with another doctor and the other doctor seemed completely fine with it. And they had agreed on the plan and everything for me. So they went ahead and did the second ultrasound, and surprisingly my baby girl hadn't grown so much. So the first time they did it, my baby was already at 8 pounds, and that was about 35 weeks maybe, when she was already like 35 to going on 36 weeks, when she was already 8 pounds. So that was a concern because I still had time and she still had time to grow. So the concern was that she was going to be over 10 pounds and hopefully nothing goes wrong, of course. So I had the other ultrasound done, and surprisingly my baby girl hadn't gained so much weight anymore. She was at 8 pounds and like 16 ounces or something like that. And the doctors were, she called me and she was very happy that the baby hadn't grown so much like we thought she was towards the end. So she called and apologized and, you know, set me at ease and told me that she was gonna leave notes and she was gonna leave everything written for my plan in case she was not there the day of that I go in to deliver. So that was another concern. I wanted her to be there because I didn't want no other doctor to be like, you know what, this baby's like way too big and you need a C-section, knowing that, you know, I already had a big baby and nothing went wrong, or that my baby is completely fine. She's completely fine. So that's another thing. Like, you guys have to be careful of who your doctor is, because there's some doctors that are very easy to say, oh no, she needs a C-section, and there's other doctors that, you know, let you try, of course, if everything's going good with your pregnancy. And that's one of the things that I researched, that I was like so scared about that. And then my, you know, she apologized and said that she was sorry that she didn't want me to worry, that she didn't bring the shoulder dystocia up because she doesn't think that was a concern. And she talked to the other doctors, and the other doctors as well said it wasn't a concern because my other baby was bigger. She set me at ease, she set me and my boyfriend at ease, and we were completely fine after that. Like, I felt relieved because I was so scared to give birth after that, because I was like, you know, what if I hurt her? What if something happens? What if I should just do the C-section? I should just schedule it. So finally my next appointment came. I was already past my 40 weeks. I saw the doctor that told me that I might need a C-section, the second midwife, and she came in and she was like, so we looked at the ultrasound, and, you know, she came in a completely different mood. She didn't even mention the C-section anymore, and she was like, everything looks good, you know, you're already blah 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 effaced, you're, you know, I think it was 2 or 3 centimeters open at that point already. She never mentioned anything about the C-section anymore, never mentioned anything about the shoulder dystocia anymore. So I'm assuming she talked to the other doctors, she talked to other midwives and things like that, so she got on board. I didn't see her anymore. After that, I went in again. Mind you, I went in 3 times into labor and delivery because I thought my baby was gonna come, and nope. The 3rd time she did come, but I went in 2 times before that and she didn't come. She wasn't ready. Finally, the 3rd time when I went in, things started rolling. But that was my concern. That was the biggest concern and the biggest fear and probably the only scare I've ever experienced throughout my pregnancy. It's very scary when, you know, doctors are telling you things about, you know, your body and things that can happen to you, or that things that can happen to your baby. So it's something I never experienced before, or any kind of anything, because with my son everything was fine, and with her everything was fine as well. She got here completely safe and sound. Nothing was wrong the entire pregnancy. But even the thought of them, you know, letting you know or telling you something like that is scary. So if something ever happened, I would be, you know, not being able to forgive myself. So other than that, my pregnancy was completely fine. I gained an exact amount of 20 pounds during my entire pregnancy, and it was right on the dot. I was able to gain 15 to 20 pounds, and I was right at 20 pounds when I had my baby girl. So there was no concern about high blood pressure or anything like that, which I am completely blessed. I'm completely grateful for that. But other than that, my third pregnancy was so tiring. I didn't want to film during my last months of pregnancy because I felt so tired. I felt so big. I just wanted her to come out. She did not want to come out. And I honestly did not think that I was going to last that long pregnant, because I had my son at the 39th week, and with her I was 41 weeks. Yeah, I was gonna be 41 weeks that week she was born. So I was completely like, everybody was like, you're still pregnant, and I was like, stop telling me, because I'm tired of being pregnant. That's how I felt. I was just like, I need this baby girl to come out. I was just exhausted, and then I have a toddler. My son's 2 years old, and then having him to be behind him, it was just exhausting already. I just needed energy again. So yeah, other than that, my third trimester was great, regardless of everything. I didn't get sick or anything again during my last trimester. And yeah, my cravings and stuff like that, I don't believe in like, oh, you know, like she's craving like 3 cheeseburgers type of thing like that, because I never experienced that with both of my pregnancies. But you know, I had like my little cravings of like sweet, those sour belts. Those sour belts are bomb.com. I crave those. I've craved like chips, like normal things like that, but not at large quantities. So yeah guys, I just wanted to update you guys on my third pregnancy things and stuff like that. And my baby girl's finally here. I'm so happy she's here. I have so much, not so much energy, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel way better now, obviously, that she's here, and that, you know, she's not taking so much out of my body. Now it's a different type of tiredness. It's a different type of, you know, things going on after she's born. So I just wanted to do this quick short video for you guys, you know, letting you guys know how my third trimester was and things like that. And I'm gonna film my labor and delivery story, just letting you guys know all that good stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.